What's going on, everyone? It's Ghostrage. I'm over here at Clubhouse Studios, and I'm about to deconstruct how I did go for Ski Mask the Slump God featuring Corbin on his latest album, The 11th Dimension. How the song came about, I did it with Beautiful Man, and we did this as one of many demos that we'd come up with in a songwriting camp in Santa Monica about a year ago. I had met him through Benny X, who had connected me with him probably about like a year or two prior, because he was giving I sent a lot of loops to Benny X, and Benny X was giving my loops to Beautiful Man for me because Beautiful Man is his like biological brother, like his like actual younger brother. I guess I was just there and we connected and he wanted to work. But I'm really happy with how the song came out, and I'm really happy it made the cut, because I like being that producer that gets like that one or two or three like oddball songs on the project that are like not supposed to be on there. But let's go break down how the song actually functions. So here I have the actual track outs. The song is composed of 11 different wave files and tracks, including my tags. So if you were to remove my tag, there would only be 10 different melodic elements going on. There's four different guitar tracks. There's a pluck from Omnisphere, there's a hi-hat and a snare and a kick, and 2 different bass patterns. And I'm gonna go through and play every individual sound and explain what it was. So the equipment that I used for the guitar was a Fender Jazzmaster. I used J37, and I added different elements and reversed different sections of it at different parts to give kind of the illusion that there was a buildup in the actual wave itself. So the first guitar was just... You can kind of hear the reverse going on, like at slight parts throughout it, where you hear the little at the very end, and it's just a loop of just me plucking. And it's actually kind of crazy. The reason why is because my guitar was so fucking out of tune, and I had to like manually micro tune the individual wave in Ableton by the Sentitone with the tuner plugin put on it, so that I could get it to sound like somewhat passable. And we had to find like the section of the recording that was like the least out of tune, and then just loop that every couple bars. And then you have the second guitar track, which is this. I'm a very big fan of J37 from Waves. I use a lot of Valhalla reverb. I can just hear based off of listening to it that that's what I used on both of those. The third guitar track is... And that little sound at the very end is actually me reversing manually the actual... In Ableton you can do this. In FL you can do it, but it's not as easy. And in the actual file itself, what I'm doing is I'm taking that particular pluck on my guitar and I'm reversing that individual sound while leaving the rest of the melody intact, and I'm reversing certain aspects of the recording and leaving others completely normal. So it kind of creates this illusion that there's something big that's about to happen, because when the waveform is reversed, you can even visually see it on an actual file where it's like there's a buildup in the dynamics. And it adds a little bit more variation to everything. The next part of the song is a Rhodes, and this is where it gets really interesting. This is Beautiful Man's handiwork. This is not me, because I normally don't go this like crazy wacky with just one sound. I'm pretty sure he used Keyscape. So there's three different changes in the Rhodes. So there's the initial one, which is just that melody, and then there's a second one in the beginning of the verse where he takes the exact same Rhodes and then drops it down a whole octave. then there's a third change on the exact same Rhodes preset, which is as such. And then it comes back into the original immediately after. It's really a less is more beat, because if you actually were to like look at it, there's so many different variations with the exact same sounds that it creates a lot more of movement with using not that much. And it's actually really, really interesting to even just look at visually. The next sound is just a pluck. I don't know what sound that is, because I'm pretty sure that was what Beautiful Man did as well, but from hearing it and knowing him and his process, is probably Omnisphere. The second pluck is from my guitar. My favorite part of this particular part is literally just like you can hear the feedback from the guitar itself just completely out of tune with like the rest of the record, but because it's so low in volume you would like never know, but like just loop that right there. Beautiful. Leave that in the song. That's my handiwork. This is what I normally, stuff like that is what I normally do when I'm completely bored and I want to add something to the song, but I can come up with nothing but just like random arpeggiating bullshit just to kind of add a little bit of like, I don't know, something in the song where I'm just like, this needs a sound. Because it doesn't, I don't even really know if that's a melody. It just sounds like I'm just like plucking random stuff. But it sounds cool as like texturally and provides a lot more atmosphere in a record that's already very like minimal as it is. So this is where things get really, really fun. So the drums specifically were all Addictive Drums demo, which I'm shocked still about. And I'd recommend that any producer who wants to get like a really nice acoustic drum pack before you start like digging through waves, because it's going to be really hard to find like one-shot wave files of like acoustic drums that are super duper good. It's a rabbit hole that I wouldn't want anyone to go down, not even my worst enemy. But Addictive Drums has like a very good like demo plugin where it's just like the Fairfax drums, and they sound fucking great and you can do a lot with them. And literally like there isn't a single like wave file from a drum kit anywhere in this song. It's all the drums are literally like Addictive Drums demo, and the drums go something like this without just by themselves. And it's a really interesting pattern too if you think about it, because like the snare is very, very unorthodox. Like that's normally where you would put a tom, and the snare is just at like the very end of every 4-bar melody. The hi-hats and the kick are really what keep the beat pumping. But yeah, no, the kick kind of like gives you this feeling that like you're about to go run somewhere, like you're about to go like sprint, or you're about to like hear like the best 80s synth pop sounding melody or beat of your life. And then again, like listening to this, the hi-hats, I mean the snare is almost like an accent, like that. The snare is not keeping the beat, it's just kind of like it goes off just to let you know that it's there, but like it's basically the entire beat. And this is the fun part. Again, a lot of Beautiful Man's handiwork. I have no idea how the fuck he managed to like layer 2 different basses together, because I still to this day struggle with that, and that's like producer genius 2.0 Megamind level. But the bass came from Trillion, and there's 2 different melodies of the bass itself. There's the one that just follows the kick pattern, which is just as such. And then the melody on the verse section is as such. So you have another change. So you have another change right there. And then during the chorus it goes back to the original. Now, the second bass layer, there's two different components to it. And the first one is just at the intro. And that's it. It just gives a little bit of an accent to the actual melody, and when you hear it all together, it makes more sense. By itself, it's kind of sporadic. It's basically like the bass itself is like the main melody. Like if you were to like even like listen to that by itself, that bass pattern almost sounds like the lead synth of like what you would hear in like a normal record, where it's like that would be like the doo 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 doo. Like that would like be like on a way higher like preset or something like that. When the verse kicks in, that's when the bass starts going like really fucking bananas, where the whole thing basically just kicks all the way in. Layered with the second bass, it sounds like this. And when you put that together with the drums, it makes so much sense. It's insane, but it works. And the melodies by themselves are fucking wild. And even when you put them together, it just sounds like, wow. The craziest part about the melody as I listen to it is that it's the chord progression is kind of an illusion, in the sense of in most music, what actually causes the change of a chord progression isn't the bass. The bass normally follows. There's normally like some sort of chord that's played on the melodic aspect, but if you listen to this by itself, there's very little shift in the actual like chord itself. What actually gives the chord its changes is the bass. Where it goes up right there. But it's just wild to like listen to it, like the melody by itself without the bass, and then with the bass in. Versus this. Then add in the little bass licks that come over every now and then. This song is catchy. I can't even listen to the beat without hearing like go, 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 let's go, let's go. This literally sounds like you're about to like go to heaven, but like if heaven was like an 80s synth pop concert that goes on forever. All together, and yeah, the last element. But all in all, you put everything in the beat together and you get this. probably one of my favorite beats ever made. That I made personally. It's Ghostrage. That was a deconstruction of Go. Shout out to Clubhouse Studios. Shout out to Beautiful Man. And thanks to everyone for having me. Peace out.